Hey
Whoa!
everyone, are we live? We got so wrapped up in our own conversation, we forgot about you guys. Sorry. We're here now.
Whoops. Sorry about that.
I'm gonna wait till
Oh,
the chat says something to confirm that they can see us.
yeah. I see
Chat, say
Sydney said,
something.
"Why are we late?"
It was mine.
Oh,
Some messages.
I
All
got
right.
my ceiling fan on. Is it loud? Can you hear it? I didn't
I
even
can't hear
ask.
it. I can't hear it.
Okay, good, 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 goody,
All right,
good.
guys. I am here with Anthony J all day. Check it out. That's the real deal. And now I thought he was going to wear San Francisco 49er gear, so I wore my Packer gear instead of my usual tuxedo T-shirt. And now he's outshining me. All right, that'll work. That'll work. We got a sports logo there.
There we go.
Let's jump right into it. So in this description, it starts out, America, fishy things. Appreciate that. With the,
I thought you liked that.
I did. I do. I like that. I specialize in live fishing, short vids, laughing, and kicking butt. Best bring your thick skin coat with you. 100. Anthony J all day 123 at gmail.com if you want to get a hold of him. He's got some channel sponsors. Do you want me to read your sponsors or?
Sure, go for it.
So he's sponsored by Sportsman Bait and Tackle and Fishing Supplies, Outboard Repair, Boat Parts and Accessories on 2305 Highway 62 West, Gilbertsonville, Kentucky, 42044. You can call them at 270-362-4454. I'm not going to lie. Most people don't have this kind of stuff on it, so I'm a little off my game a
Yeah.
little bit.
Well,
He's
I
also
try to give my
sponsored.
sponsors. Yeah, I try to give the sponsors as much way to
Yeah,
get a hold
yeah.
of one as you
That's
can.
pretty cool, man. He's also sponsored by Mike's Barnacle Baits, Custom Spinner Lures, and more. That's Mike's Barnacle Baits at gmail.com. He's also sponsored by Pro Staff, Fish Angler app Pro Staff. That's www.fishangler.com. Also in your app store, and it's free. That's pretty cool. You've got sponsors.
Yeah, and they made me pro staff with them. A little, I would say about November last year.
Okay. Right on, man.
Yeah.
Cool. So Anthony has 14,700 subscribers. That's pretty good, man. He has
Thanks.
860 videos, and he has well over 3 million views. 3,206,822 views. So probably moving towards 3.3 million views, you guys. Very impressive. Very impressive.
Thank you.
How
Thank you.
long you been doing this?
I just came up on 2 years. I think it was this week or was it last week? I forget. It was
Nice.
yeah. Fishy things, Jackson. Action Jackson.
Okay. Did the bio read? So as usual, and like I tell every guest, I'm gonna know a lot of the answers to these questions, but it's not just for me. This is for the chat and for future viewers of this video potentially. So pretend like I don't know a thing about you. Um, so yeah, can you tell us a little bit about your where your YouTube journey very first started? Like where did you first come up with the idea or get the idea that you wanted to start like a YouTube channel? How did that happen?
That's an excellent question. Excellent question. My brother-in-law, my sister's husband, me and him. Uh, I got him into fishing. I don't know, maybe 20 years ago. Out in San Francisco when I lived out there. We all lived out there. I got him on catching big sturgeons and sharks and just halibuts and stuff like that, and striped bass too, especially. And he's like, Tony, you catch all these monster fish all the time. You need to start a YouTube channel and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right, whatever. And he kept pushing me on that for like, I don't know, 20 years. Okay. And finally, he moved out here to Chicago. I'm only about 6 hours from there. That's where I'm originally from, this Chicago. And but I grew up in San Francisco. I would say probably since I was six, right? Uh, So recently, he came down here, and I've taken a couple different spots and stuff. So I fished a lot of places too that I'm not live at ever, like no one ever sees, kind of stuff. And he's like, Tom, what the? How did you find these places, and how do you know how to get these, types of fish and stuff? Like big, big fish for freshwater. They're big, right? So
Right.
he's like, you got to start a YouTube channel. You got to. So this about maybe 2 years ago, he finally was just on my butt. He even went and got me a couple GoPro style cameras.
Okay.
He's like, now you don't have an excuse. And he's all boom. He sat down a big box that had all kinds of cameras in it, and it had all the attachments for everything and stuff like that. And so, well, we started from there, and that, about 2 years ago on the dot, a few days ago.
You
And
got kind of strong armed into it.
basically, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, nobody cares about this stuff. You know
Right.
what I mean? And then
Cool.
like he's like, "Oh, you don't understand. You catch stuff that I've never seen." You know. And I was like, "All right, well, let's see what happens." So
So,
here we are
okay.
today.
So you got talked into starting a YouTube channel by your friend because he saw what an amazing fisherman you were.
Right.
And so you decided to start this channel. Can you walk us through like how it felt, what kind of things you thought and went through when you very first started the channel, and then kind of get us to where you are now and how you feel about YouTube and how your journey's been so far.
Uh, well, when you first start, you don't know. You don't really know anything. You don't know how to upload videos. Really, you don't know how to edit the videos. You don't know how long to make it, how short to make it. Should you talk during it? Do you put music into it? Do you put funny clip things that are just funny things in between stuff? Like, what do you do, right? So I was watching videos like long form videos, we'll say, watching catfish, watching all kinds of fishing videos, just everything across the board. You know what I mean? And I had been doing that for years anyway. You know what I mean? But I never really like paid attention hardcore to them. I was like, well, what am I gonna do? How am I? How do you stick out in a world that everyone's already done everything? You know what I
Right.
mean? How do you how? You know what I mean?
Right.
I go, well, I don't see anybody with these monstrosity invasive carps. I don't see anybody with these monstrosity long nosed gars. I don't see nobody with these monstrosity buffaloes or just whatever. Everything seems to be monstrous down here. Uh, I said, okay, well, let's just start showing them off in ways that people I don't see people doing it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Just showing the fish when I'm holding them and stuff like that. And I go, I'm not really into the long form videos. I tried a couple that were maybe 10 minutes or so. And I was like, you know what? I just I don't really care for this long form video at all. And then I started getting in the shorts. And I
Yeah.
started having so much fun because you can use all these sounds. There's a billion sounds. You
Right.
can cut stuff from movies. You can cut stuff from music, whatever. Make your own. You can make your own sounds too. You can have people make you music. I've had a few people make me music, make me songs and stuff like that. Uh, I know a lot of artists back home in California, in the Bay Area, and they're always like, "Tone, just let us know, and we'll write you a bunch of beats, a bunch of I don't want to say like famous rappers, but they're pretty well known. But I'm not going to mention that world. But
Right.
anyway, because then they want to cut out everything. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But anyway, so I said, I'm gonna go with shorts, doing shorts videos. That's gonna be my focus, the shorts. So I put out, I don't know, maybe 400 or 500 shorts, uh, and they started gaining traction. Not everyone, every video you put out, every uh, every everyone you put out's a gamble. It's a crapshoot whether it's gonna take off or just flatline and do nothing.
Right.
Most people don't get it. They don't know what they're doing. They look dumb as shit up there. You gotta look like you're confident, in your vids, whether it's a long or a short vid. You know what I mean?
Right.
Look confident. Try to look your best. You know what I mean? You're in front of a camera, in front of a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I hear a lot of people, "Well, I don't change how I look for anybody." Okay, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that either.
Right.
Okay, I get it. But try to always look your best. You know, when you're on front of a camera, you know, you never know. It takes one video and some huge giant company be like, that's the look we're looking for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like my ultimate goal is for like some like pin fishing to be like, we want you, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're the new face.
You know,
You're exactly
right,
what we've been
right,
looking
right.
for.
Here's every reel we ever made in our life. Here, you know what I mean?
This
Like, you
man
know,
screams America.
right, right. You know, go balls out when you go. When you go
Right.
fishing, go balls out. Don't do the little bitch ass fishing that anybody can do. Do shit that is hard. Okay, don't do it because it's easy. Do it because it's hard. And when it's harder, it challenges you more. You know what I
Yep.
mean? You fish in
Yep.
these little pissy ass fucking spots that anybody can go to. Okay, because anybody can do. I'm here to entertain. I'm not here to not entertain. That's my goal. Is to entertain, have fun with it, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? The money aspect's not there. I don't do long form videos. You're not gonna. I don't care what anybody says. You're not gonna make tons of money unless you're putting out tons of long form videos. Okay, you got to
Right.
have a big following and stuff like that. You can make money off lives and stuff like that. You know what I mean? As long as you're not like a beggar or something like that. You know, people that actually like you and they'll donate is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
For because you have skills and shit. You know what I mean? Not because they feel sorry for you. Not that kind of fishing. You know what I mean? But so the shorts is where I found my niche, and I think it's just about the funnest you could do out of all of it because you can put out as many as you want in like
Right.
10 minutes. I got them
Well,
to the point where I
I
have them
believe
on a
I believe
timer.
after 3 a day, YouTube won't push anymore. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
they
true,
won't
but I
push
think
anymore, but it doesn't mean you can't put them out there. Is what I
that's
meant.
true. That's
You know what
true.
I'm saying? Like I got mine timed every day.
You put them
You
on
know what I
like a
mean?
delay, like you put them up
Yeah.
private, and then you have them released on
Well,
a
not
later date.
private. Just it'll load up when I tell it to load up. It's whatever time I want it to load up at. You know what I
Okay.
mean? You know, release at 12 o'clock. Release at whatever, whatever, whatever. You know what I mean? If I see one's taken off, I'll stop all that until it flatlines. Then I'll put another one. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or
Right.
sometimes if I know this one's working, I'll do another one similar to it. Put a different fish in it. Maybe use the same sound. You know, whatever. You got to use trendy sounds sometimes. Sometimes you don't. A lot of times the YouTube won't push you unless you're using trendy stuff that
Right.
everybody's using. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
And then if you're too late to that trend, it's already over. And
right, right. You know, but don't ever be afraid to do something that you just really think is awesome. If you think it's
yeah.
awesome, it's
Yeah.
going to be awesome to somebody else. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
you know, it's just a matter of just don't limit yourself. There's just so much you can do. You know what I mean? And it takes a long time to figure stuff out. You gotta the way you can tie clips in together and stuff like that, and make them all mesh. You know, because you don't need all these big wild editor programs and stuff to do this stuff. You know,
Right.
well, I gotta get this. I gotta have that. I gotta have a supercomputer. You know, I need an $8,000 special laptop. No, you don't. They make
Right.
apps for all that stuff, dude. Just do it that way. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to go low budget anyway, you know what I mean? So, uh, I
So
got. I got my my aunt and my uncle. They have a commercial slash filming business. They've had it for I don't know since I was a kid, right?
right.
So they give me a lot of pointers, and they're like, anytime you want, Tony, you just come work with us for a little bit, and we'll show you the ropes if you really truly want to go crazy with
Okay.
filming and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, I don't care that much to do that. So, and they're on my ass all the time. They're like, Tony, you can do some epic stuff, man. You know, and they got all these badass cameras and stuff. I mean, like some like old stuff for them that would be crazy new for me. You know what I mean? They're like,
Sure.
we got
Sure.
stuff sitting here. We got fucking $10,000 cameras sitting here, guys. You know, I'm like 10,000. They're all these are the cheap ones. I'm like, really? They're all yeah. You
Yep.
know. So I was like, all right, but next time I go up there, I'll probably get a bunch of stuff from 'em, you know. But I'm a bank fisherman, you know what I mean? And I fish spots that are really super hard. I can't be
Yeah.
lugging a bunch of stuff. If I can't put it in my backpack and sling it over my shoulder, I'm probably not taking it. I'm not taking a cart. I don't have little pull up spots where you can just jump out of your car. It's not like that here.
Right.
It's not like that here because I'm at a I'm at the basin of the Ohio, the Cumberland, and the Tennessee River. And when I mean basin, I mean it's the Mississippi from here. We're all connected, right? So
Okay.
these banks are built to withstand flooding from everywhere else coming down here. This is the end of the line for all the water. These
Okay.
banks are 100 foot, 200 foot in certain areas. You know, most of the good areas, these big, crazy, high, long banks, you got to walk heckin' far from where you park, this and that. You know, and most of the time, there's not a it's not paved, it's not a path. You got to walk on rocks, cut through the woods, cut through a farm field. You know what I mean? That kind of crap. So I'm
It's like a
limited on what I can carry with me. I'm just limited. I can only take what I can haul as I'm walking, hiking through this stuff.
so I mean it's a
Some
real
spots,
adventure. When you do a fishing live, like we didn't even see the adventure for you to get to that point to go live with us.
most people
Have you ever
don't.
considered doing that? Have you ever considered like doing a chest mount camera and keeping us live for the walk or anything? Or have you tried that?
I have. It's so hard to keep everything out of the
Sure.
way right here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I got stuff. I mean, I'm bringing 6, 7, 8 rods with me sometimes. You know, 12-foot rods. You know, broken down and stuff. This stuff's heavy. I got a backpack on. I got a bucket strapped to that. I got another bag strapped around this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I'm carrying some kind of other bag with my free hand. You know what I mean? It's just stuff. And a lot of times I'm walking through brush. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I've tried it in the past, and I usually break the mounts.
Or maybe
You
maybe
know?
that if you had like, a buddy or something to be like a cameraman, you could film that as like the adventure for your long form. Like, this is how we
Right.
got to that spot. I don't know. I mean, you
Now
clearly
tried doing the set up the tripod and walking by. You know what I mean?
right,
Where you can
right,
see it the whole time, but then I
yeah,
gotta walk back and get it. You know what I mean?
right,
And I'm not. I mean, I'm trying to just get there because just getting there. I'm not saying every spot's like that, but I'd say
right,
half of them are like that. Just getting there, just getting there. Okay, is half the battle to the fishing. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
It's just that's half the battle. You know what I mean? And once you start going and you got all this stuff on you, you don't really want to stop. You just
yeah.
want to get. You know what I mean? And
Get a boat,
that's
man.
without injury. You know, you're trying to do this without injury. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without snapping an ankle or catching something in the branch of the eye. You know, fall in a gopher hole or I've just encountered a lot of strange animals. Not strange, just out of nowhere. You know, because you're breaking brush, you're breaking trail a lot of times. You know, and
Yep.
just scaring stuff. You know what I mean? You're just like, what the hell? You know, you spook a bunch of deer or something. You know, so you never know.
Man.
Yeah, so that's how I got into it. My brother-in-law basically was like, "Boom, you ain't got no more excuses. So
Right.
get to it." You know what I mean?
Do
I said, "All
you
right,
have?
fine." Whatever.
Are you
Yeah.
just kind of enjoying the moment and keep doing what you're doing with YouTube, or do you have maybe a goal in mind, maybe a destination? Do you want to go long form, or like where do you think you're going from here, or are you just in the moment?
You know, I fish a lot of off camera too, right?
Right. Right.
And it's boring. Now it's boring because I'm used to having a bunch of people with me to talk to, my regulars and new people, stuff like that. You know, and so now when I'm not live or even like a lot of times I'll have my little setups going, but that's just when I catch a fish. You know, I'm like, all right, let's make a quick short here or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? It seems boring now, and I'm used to fishing with a lot of people in general, like a lot of friends and family members and stuff like that. Anyway. But since I relocated to here in the freaking farmlands of Kentucky, there's nobody out here, bro. Nobody. If they are, they didn't deal with the likes of me anyway, because I look like more of a city kid than anything. So uh, they don't like outsiders out here, and it ain't got to do with your color of your skin. They just if you ain't from here, you ain't from here, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not that they're jerks or nothing. They just don't want nothing to do with you. That's all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a couple people I have met, they're like more my age or younger. Whereas I would say like the more older people that have been here forever, they're like, if you're not a farmer, then screw you. You know what I mean? If you're not a
True.
hunter, then get out of here. So,
So you kind of already mentioned it, but is that primarily where you fish? Is kind of that? It sounds like a kind of a Mississippi cross section with a couple different rivers connecting the
yeah,
Mississippi. Is that your main
yeah.
body of water?
Well, we have like two of the biggest lakes, about 25 minutes from here, 20 minutes. It's called Kentucky Lake and Barkley Lake, which is the Cumberland River and the Tennessee River, but they're backed up by the dam systems, all the TVA systems. Kind of
Right.
like you see skipjacks in either fishing Fort Loudon or
Mhm.
whatever lake they choose. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. But this lake here spans like 3 states. You know what I mean? And the Barkley one spans from here to Tennessee. So they're massive lakes. I mean, massive. And I'm used to fishing massive lakes too, also from California, the reservoirs out there and stuff. The wild, crazy rivers,
Yep.
because you just never know.
Yeah.
You just never know.
100%.
I mean, I caught an alligator gar last year,
Oh wow.
and they planted alligator gars up here to combat the Asian carp,
Oh,
uh, the,
smart.
the invasive carps and stuff. I only
Yeah.
caught a baby. He was only for alligator gar. He was a baby, right?
Right.
Uh, and I was like, I was just like, I pulled out sturgeon out of here. I mean, I pulled out trout out of these rivers. I mean, you name it. I mean,
Right.
you name it. Okay, I pulled it out of here. Okay, so why not fish these rivers? Because you never
Well,
know.
yeah.
It's directly connected to the mighty Mississippi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It goes all the way to the Gulf. There's been reported bull shark sightings and caught in Illinois. I'm on that same path. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never
Yeah.
know.
I'm
So
I'm
I'm
about
not
two
doing the
hours from
lakes.
the
I'm
Mississippi
doing the
myself.
rivers. Yeah, that's not too bad. But it's 4 hour trip in a sense. There and
Exactly.
back.
Exactly.
You
And
know what I
then,
mean?
other life stuff. Yeah.
Right. You know.
So,
Yeah. So the rivers, I stick to the rivers. If someone wants to go hit the lake, I got no problem with that. But I just think better luck is over on the rivers, personally, for
I
something
agree.
big. For
Yeah.
something big. You know what I mean? Like I've fished since I was 4. Right. Uh, I've caught them all, short, tall, big, and small. I'm just at the point where I target big everything now. I don't care if it's bluegill. I want to catch the biggest bluegills. I don't care if
Right.
it's long-nosed gar. I want to catch the biggest ones. I throw big baits, big lures, big
I'm with
everything.
you.
You know what I mean?
100%, man. And actually,
That's where
that
I'm at.
brings me right to my next question. Do you remember the very first fish you ever caught? And if not, how far
Yeah.
back do you remember catching a fish? Tell us about that experience.
My grandma that passed away during COVID, she was the last one. She has got a picture of me when I was 4 with the yellow bullhead. That was caught out of this place called Armstrong Park in Carroll Stream in Illinois, and that's the first official fish picture.
Nice.
You know what I mean, I actually have a couple ones when I was younger up here. We'll show them later. Uh, I think my youngest one there. I'm 12.
Well,
Uh,
pleasure.
so,
Bring one up. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's. Why wait till later? We're on the topic now. Let's see one.
all right, let me see if I can pull it back. I think it's just tape up there. Yeah, this is one. This is in Mount Shasta, California. That's a trout.
Nice.
I call trout stupid. I just call them stupid trouts. I call all trouts, even if it's a big lake trout. Like a big trophy. I just like stupid trout.
Do you ever eat the
So
fish?
no, I don't eat fish.
Never. Okay.
Once in a blue moon, I'll take a couple bites. That's about
Yeah.
it.
Just
I don't
raw
like.
while they're alive. Just take a nibble.
That's it. Bite the head off. You know what I mean? Arr,
Perfect.
arr.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Uh, I just don't like the texture and taste of fish. And like my family loves fish. I mean, if they're even cooking fish inside, I'm not even coming home until 10 o'clock at night because I can smell it. You know what I mean? And I
Right.
don't care what it is, I can smell it. And then I get a lot of people tell me, "Oh, well, you haven't tried it like this, the way I cook it." Ma'am, I
Yeah.
probably have. You know what I mean? Or Mister, I
That's
probably
what
have.
everyone tells me about broccoli, and I'm like, I'm allergic to broccoli. I don't care how you cook it. Don't try and feed it to me.
Right.
So, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
All right. So what is, and you can answer if you've done saltwater and freshwater, you can give two answers to this question. What is the biggest fish you've ever caught?
How much it weighed? If you're gonna weigh a sturgeon, you got like scale. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you need a
Like
ladder.
like a spring
Probably.
scale or something like that. Yeah. And
So a 9 foot
the biggest
sturgeon. What
scale
kind of was that? A white sturgeon or a lake sturgeon?
white sturgeon. It
Okay.
was a white sturgeon out of the San Francisco Bay at County Point Harbor
All right.
on the jetties out there. They have these the herring come in from the ocean and they spawn all over these rocks and stuff, right? And like growing up there, you catch on to where these fish spawn at. There's all kinds of stuff comes from the ocean in the bay and spawns, right? And they particularly like um uh herring roe, you know. So there's one area we fish, we know where that's where the sturgeons are in these back sloughs and stuff. So I caught a 9 foot sturgeon. That's probably the biggest one. The biggest one on scale was a 188 pound bat stingray. We caught that under the Golden Gate Bridge using a piece of squid, a whole squid about that big.
Oh my God.
Uh, yeah, it was like a 4.5 hour fight.
Jesus.
And it was off the cliffs and stuff where you got to like hike down to get to the water and stuff. And like that's just
So
an adventure.
potentially that fish could have
You know?
killed you, right? Like trying to catch that fish could have.
I
You were in danger.
mean,
You're on cliffs trying to reel in a 9 foot fish with what?
I mean,
50-pound squid?
if he would have took off with you, if you were like
Oh,
holding on to him and he took off and you're too stupid to not let go, then
right.
maybe he could have
There's a
took
lot
you
of
out far
stupid
enough.
people out there. You never know. And
That's
even
true,
smart people do stupid things sometimes.
right? Right, that's true. Hey, I broke my ribs last year just walking on the rocks. I took the wrong step and Jack broke all my ribs. You know what I mean? But I
Yep.
didn't let it stop me. So for about a month it stopped me. But yeah, yeah. So those are the biggest fish on scale is the stingray. But I haven't cracked over 100 pounds in since then. Really, since that fish, I haven't cracked, and that was in 2001 when I was 21.
I potentially cracked 100 pounds one time in my life, but it's debatable. Especially my friend that helped me lift it tries to debate it. It's like if it takes two full-grown healthy men to lift, it's probably 100 pounds plus. But we won't go there.
Right,
And
right.
that was
Like
a lake sturgeon. So
I can lift a lot, bro. If I can't lift it, I would probably bet it's well over 100.
right. And I mean, I'm not exactly tiny. So
Right, exactly. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm 230, full of like a pissed off soldier every day. So
all right. So what is your favorite fish to catch?
sturgeon,
Sturgeon?
no doubt about it.
Okay.
It's the favorite fish. The blue sturgeon, the green sturgeon, the white sturgeon. Those three, are without a doubt, are my
Have you ever caught a
favorite fish.
laker?
I've caught a couple Lakers at the dams over here.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But they're not near as big as them saltwater ones.
Not yet, they're
Them
not.
salt.
So
Not
stay
yet.
tuned. This September, you're going to see natural Wisconsin lake sturgeon from the Great Lakes region. And then you'll be like, oh, they do get big. Because
Yeah.
yours have been introduced, but they
Right.
take like 60 or 70 years to get like 8 foot plus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're slow growers.
Yeah.
They're definitely slow growers. You know what I mean? And their reproduction, a lot of times they don't reach maturity until they're 6 or 7. You know what I mean? So they're not even reproducing. A lot of these sturgeons, they don't even get the chance because they get poached
Yeah.
and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like my brother's got a spot in Wisconsin. He's got a spot on some lake. I forget what it is. I mean, in the wintertime, they cut out a big giant ice square and they spear the damn things. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But they
do that
keep
up
them. They keep them. They eat them. So I never open my mouth and say nothing. But I always want to be like, dude, you suck. You know what I mean? But
No, in Wisconsin, they've got, it's almost like deer hunting. Like people have to get tags for them, and you can only get so many
Okay.
tags to take them in spear season. And then the Native Americans can take so many out of the ice every year, and yeah, so it's a big
Right.
thing. Last year, the season was open for 15 minutes, and then all the tags were full, and sturgeon season was over. It was a 15-minute season.
Yeah. Yeah, he invites me. He's been inviting me for about, I don't know, 15 years, but I don't want to do it because I don't want to spear a surgeon.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to either.
You know, and I don't want to spear any fish. I don't even like, even when I lived in North Carolina, there, you go out and you can spear flounder. I don't even
Yeah,
want to do that because it's like I said, it's not that it's because I don't eat them. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Since I
right.
don't eat them, I'm not trying to kill them. I'm trying to throw them back. Do I keep bait? Okay, yeah, I keep bait. Okay, but that's to catch a big fish, right? There's more bait than there is any other thing, right? In
Yeah,
my opinion, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? There's little fish than big
And I
fish.
mean, if you're
So
using it to catch a fish, it's potentially going to get eaten by that fish, whether you used it as bait or
right,
not. Um,
exactly.
yeah, and then I also so my kind of rule of thumb for the most part is that if I'm fishing and the fish, like say, swallows the hook or something, and I know that fish is going to die, then I will keep it. And depending on what kind of fish it is, I will fillet it and eat it, or I will cut it up and use it as cut bait to catch other fish. So I try my best to, not just savagely go around killing fish for no reason. You know what I mean?
Right. You stupid bastard, throw them on the rocks. Jim, I hate you. You know what I mean? There's a lot of gars over here: long nose gar, short nose gar, spotted gar, the occasional alligator gar, right? And I see a lot of people; they just start bashing them on the rocks and stuff, or stomping on their heads and stuff because they're scared of them. You know what I
That's
mean? Because
crazy.
long snout, they got all this crazy looking
Yeah.
teeth and blah blah blah.
Yep.
They got this armored skin, and they think that's going to bite them. You know what I mean? Uh, and I just see a lot of people just. I've seen them just in general, especially fishing a lot of saltwater. A lot of people, a lot of spiky looking fish come out of the ocean and stuff, and people just get scared and they just want to bash and kill it, and then they just like toss it. They don't even take it with them or nothing. You know what I mean? And
Right.
it's not that I'm not a tree hugger or nothing like that. If you want to, I can have my best friend, like my family fish right next to me. They can keep all the fish they want. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't care. I'm
Right.
just saying personally, that's not like how I want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I'll throw fish and get them off and give them a good toss. If they need reviving, I'll go down there and revive them. Most of the time, they don't. I try not to let fish ever touch the ground when I catch them. You know what I mean? I hold them the whole time, unhook them, do my thing, bloop, throw them back, whatever. You know what I mean? Like they're usually pretty lively because I don't have them out of the water very long. Maybe a
Yeah.
couple minutes max. You know what I mean?
I've
But
got
I
to
have
get
my
better at
stuff set
remembering
up.
to bring like my gloves because especially the,
Right.
the big feisty catfish are always slipping out of my hands and pounding the ground and I feel like crap. And then it
Like
sounds like I'm
I got
just beating crap out of fish.
Yeah, you just like I don't know. You start getting techniques where you can just you learn how to hold them and because they bite on you, they clamp on you. Fish do that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
you got to just be able to just take it if you don't want them to fall on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like I come away a lot of scars. I get cut all the time. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I gotta super glue something up. You know what I mean? But it's like dropping anybody on your head, you're not gonna be right for a little while, if you come back from it. It's the same thing with same thing with fish and animals,
Yep.
you know what I mean? You
Yep.
drop them, you're gonna ring them for a little while. So I try not to say fish don't slip out of my hand. It happens damn near
Right.
every time I go fishing. Okay, I'm not saying that like it doesn't ever happen, but don't be afraid to grab that fish and have your hand in his mouth and just
Oh, I do.
just
I do. I've got
whack him.
plenty of
You know what I mean?
since when I caught my first blues with Cindy, like I grabbed it right in the mouth like it was a largemouth bass, and I'd
That's
never
it.
caught a blue before. And it's
Yeah, I
just
was
gnawing the
watching.
shit out of my thumb, and I'm like, oh, they bite. Yep, they
Yeah.
sure do. He's just okay.
And they're
You
not
know?
so bad. I tell you what, them channel cats are a lot more meaner than
Oh,
any other.
oh,
Well, bullheads. Let me say, bullheads are probably meaner than any other
oh,
channel
bullheads are the
cat.
worst. They're little monsters, and then their little spikes
Yeah.
don't even get me started with those little
Right.
bastards.
Right.
The
Right.
little fish are actually harder to handle than the big ones, really.
And their
And I
spikes are
mean,
really sharp. You know.
I've got to catch. I catch
Look at
probably a
that.
thousand bluegill every year for bait, right? And I swear, at least once or twice a week, I get stabbed in the hand by a bluegill spine. It just always
Right.
happens.
Right. My hands,
It-
I've been like a mechanic, a welder, you know what I'm saying? And just worked on heavy machinery most of my life and a lot of that kind of stuff. I got some pretty good leather now that I can just I can just palm fish. Spikes they don't even break in no more. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of I wouldn't say it's bragging because I can't feel half my hand anyway anymore. So uh but I've noticed over the years that the spikes don't even bother me no more. Now if it's
yeah,
catfish, goddamn catfish will it'll put a burn all the way down to your legs if he gets you real good. You know what I mean? On his pectorals and stuff. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I
So
think they might
you
even
always
have
feel
like
those.
poison in their spine or something. I don't know if that's
That's
true,
what
but
they say. That's what they
I don't know.
say, you know. And but hey, whatever. That's part of fishing like any other thing, you know.
But somehow, and I've caught a lot of catfish. I've actually never gotten stung by a catfish. I don't know how I pulled it off, but
Oh, we'll just
yeah,
keep catfishing.
I will.
It's gonna happen, man.
We'll see. We'll see. I've also
The
never been
last
in a
time I
car
got stabbed.
accident, and I've had a license for 30 years, so I
Oh
don't know.
man, yeah, I see exactly. Last time I got stung by a catfish, it was a small one, something like a little shaker, right? I was
Yeah,
fishing for bluegills, caught my night crawler, and he jumped out of my hand, he slipped out, and I caught him in the air. You know what I mean? This reaction, you know. And when I grabbed him, I grabbed his pectoral on one side,
yeah.
right in the center of my palm too, and it was my left
Oh,
side. I'll never forget it because it sucked really bad. He jabbed me really good. And I mean, like bleeding hardcore and everything too. And I was like, oh, damn it. Like, I had to take my t shirt off kind of thing and wrap it around my hand, because it was that bad, and press on it. And I swear to God, dude, I felt the poison, whatever it is, go all the way down in my hip, down in my leg on my left side. Like, I felt it traveling because it was burning the whole time. That's how I knew. It was
Jesus.
just burning. It lasted about maybe 5-10 minutes. Okay. It was real heavy sensation through the arm down here. Uh, but after that, it was nothing. I mean, my hand was sore. Anytime you get pierced in your hand, deep enough, it hurts, right? The catfish thing ain't too bad. I think the initial shock is just that you see that up in your body, his pectoral fin, and it kind of freaks you out more than
Yeah.
anything. I think that's the hardest part to deal with.
Yeah, I've had that similar experience, like, roofing a house and then you step on a nail and it goes up inside your foot. It's like it doesn't even hurt that bad, but
Yeah.
you're like, there's a freaking nail in my foot, man. And like you gotta pull it out of your shoe and you're like, that was inside me.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I guess back
Right.
to work.
Yeah. Like you said, and then you do that a few times, your foot don't even
Yeah.
bleed no more. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You're just like,
Or like, then next time you step on a nail and there's a nail in your foot, you just pull it out and throw it to the side and keep
yeah,
working. And then someone that's news looking at you like, bro, there was
right.
a
You just
nail in your
keep
foot. And you're like,
hammering,
yeah, it
backing
happens.
down.
It happens.
That's
Get
it.
them
It's
shingles
part of
in
the
there.
job, man. It's part of the job.
You know, America.
America.
Let's see here. All right, so sturgeon are your favorite fish to catch. What fish are you best at catching, in your opinion?
At this point in time, oh man, I fish seasonal now. Like, and when I mean seasonal, I've been tracking these fish since I've been out here. So it's hard to say that because I fish for specific type of fish times a year. You know what I'm saying? As they're
Right.
traveling around. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I guess I can give
I'd
you,
have to go
I
with
can let you do
catfish. I'd have to
four
go with
answers, but
catfish.
there's got to be one you're better at than the others, even if it is
I'd
seasonal.
have to say catfish. I'd have to say catfish. Now, I don't catch the numbers as I do, say, bass, stripers, or skipjack baits or bluegills. I don't catch those kind of numbers.
Well, give
But
it a
if I had to,
species kind of golf handicap, right? Like you can't expect to be
right,
pulling cats in
yeah.
like someone pulls
And
bluegill in, right?
we're going for big, big. Remember, we're going for the big ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not going for the little eaters. Okay,
Right.
we're
Right.
going for the trophies every time. You know what I'm saying? Like the goal is a state record every time we go fishing. That's the goal.
Yeah.
And that's been my goal for like 20 years. Okay,
Yeah.
saltwater, freshwater. Whatever we're going for the biggest we can get. Okay. Now, does that happen every time? No, because I don't have a state record. Okay. not for fishing. But anyway,
Well, it's
that's a
not
whole
really for
different show.
cats.
You know what I mean? But so when I'm going out fishing, I go to the spots where there are known big catfish.
Well, hold on, time
You
out,
know what I
time
mean?
out, time out, time out. When you
Yeah,
say that you're best at catching catfish, we do need to clarify what species of catfish. There's
blue
very,
catfish.
very
I would
different
say
catfish.
primary.
Best of blues. All right.
I'd say blue catfish. Now the flatheads is different because I can't track them as well as I can the blue cats. You
Right.
know what I mean? I think the flatheads are a little bit more. I wouldn't say finicky.
Yeah.
There's just I think the trout lines out here are just devastating the flatheads, and I think they're just really hard to track. At least for me, I can track these damn blues all day long. You know, they're only going. See, I'm in a fortunate spot. They only can go to these three dams. They're not going past them. They're not on the Ohio River, the Cumberland, and the Kentucky Dam. So I got that whole river to work all the way to those dams from where I live. Okay,
Right.
and the Mississippi, then to the Mississippi, right? So I cover the territory, right? And since I've been here, I've learned I don't really have to cover ground like that no more. I know I can just wait. I know they're going to be showing up,
Right.
at these spots or that spot. Now, does it work every time? No, it
No,
doesn't work every
of
time.
course not.
Do we catch big fish every time? No, we don't. Okay,
But
but when we do, we
yes,
sure do.
and that's the thing, and I'm showcasing it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all showcasing it, but like, I'm
Right.
my lives. I've been targeting flathead all month so far, right? Now, half my lives, I've practically got skunked. I mean, I'll go catch a channel cat just to say I didn't get skunked, but I'm
Right.
targeting flathead, so in reality, I'm kind of getting skunked. But
Right.
every once every 5 or 6 fishing sessions, I finally get a flathead. You know what I mean? And so it's like that's the key. Now, there's other guys that might try their whole life and never get one flathead. So I'm
Oh,
getting skunked
well,
50.
believe
I'm
it.
getting cooked 50% of the time, but over the course of a month, I'm producing a handful of really, really big fish. So am I good at it? I don't know. You know what I mean? And that's
You know,
that's kind of where I
you'll
am with.
be as good. You're going to be as good as your water is.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's how you're going to be as good as your waters are good. Okay, if if all you got is a little bit of stuff at certain times of years, then that's what you're going to get. If you got a bunch of stuff all the time, all year, then that's what you're going to get.
right.
You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm fortunate to just have so much different rivers coming into one area, and it's like the
Thank you,
Wild West
Cindy.
almost. So, uh, there's fish in the winter, there's fish in the summer, there's fish in the fall and the spring over here. You know what I mean? Of many different kinds of species too. You know, it's not limited to just a certain kind of couple catfish. You know, some places don't have blue catfish at all. Some places don't even have channel cats. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Right.
how do you not have channel cats, right? Or in my mind, like, how do you not have a blue cat too? If you got flatheads, you not have blue cats. You
We
know what
we
I'm
don't have
saying?
blue cats in Wisconsin. There's no blue cats up here.
Right.
No.
Exactly. They can't survive the winters and stuff
Yeah.
like that. From my understanding, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Like sturgeons, you know what I mean? Like in California, they live in the deltas and the rivers. They come into the bay when it's rainy season because it
Right.
dilutes the water. Right? And they come in to eat all this fish that lay the eggs and spawn and stuff, all the mud shrimp, the ghost shrimp and stuff like that. Blah blah. Blah, right? Everything's kind of cracking. Once those fish come in from the ocean, lay eggs, everything's eating it. Right? Everything's coming from everywhere to feast on that stuff. You know what I mean? And usually when that's a winter time for San Francisco, and it's a rainy season. So we're out there 24 hours for 3 days straight trying to catch that one monster sturgeon in the rain. Usually it's
Yeah.
raining the whole time. It's cold. A lot of people don't understand that ocean water's freezing up there. You know, it's like 50 degrees, 60 degrees, in the summer. So, uh, you just got to, if you can track your fish and know where they're at and know where they're going, it doesn't work every time, but if you can increase your chances by tracking them, and when you track them, you got to put in work. You got to put in a lot of work. You got to be out there every day if you're tracking fish. You got to be out there every day.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? You got to learn the patterns. You got to learn the weather. You got to learn, the stupid moon phase. You know what I mean? You got to do barometer. All that stuff plays in a factor. It's not going to make or break a trip, but it can just increase your chances of
Yep.
catching something. If you can put all these factors together and do your best guess where something might be at this time, you're just trying to increase your odds. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I hear you, man.
But it takes a while. It
There's a
takes a
lot.
while.
I didn't realize how much I knew about fishing until I started trying to explain to other people how to catch fish. And then it was like, it occurred to me, I was like, oh no, I guess I really am doing a lot. Like if someone asked me, I'd be like, oh, fishing's easy. You just get a line in the water, But then when it really got down to it and I started having to explain it, I was like, oh no, actually I'm thinking about a lot of stuff here, you know?
Right. I
And
mean, think of how long you've been fishing because you're like, oh, okay, we want to go catch Well, see, when someone that's never caught a bluegill, right? And we can say that's one of the more easier fish to catch in the
Sure.
sense of you don't need a lot of stuff to do it. Okay.
Right.
You don't need big giant reels or rods. You don't have to have a boat. You know what I mean? You can throw on a bobber. You don't even need a weight. You throw a little Aberdeen hook. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Two things you need and a worm. You know what I mean? And not even that. I'm at the point where I don't even need night crawl. I just use jigs or whatever to catch bluegills nowadays. You know what I mean? But when you're trying to explain that to somebody, you start going, "Oh, well, you should do this, you do this, you should do this," and then all
Yep.
of a sudden, a million things pop in, and you're like, "Wait, just use a bottom and a hook, dude." You know what
Right. Right.
I mean? I'm making it overcomplicated. You know what I mean?
Totally. Well, and that's because now you've caught 10,000 bluegill, and you're like, there is a good way. There's plenty of
Right.
ways that work, but there's ways that work a lot better. And here's the trick. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like anyone, if they just put the time in and keep going out there and putting stuff on a hook and putting it in the water, they're eventually going to catch fish. You know what I mean? But there's more
That's
effective
it.
ways.
That's it. And I think the biggest key is if you're not keeping track where whatever fish are at that you like to catch, you're just gonna have a tougher time trying to catch stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I stay on these bastards out here. You know what I mean? I'm 5 minutes from the Cumberland River. I'm 7 minutes from the Ohio River. You know, I don't miss a day of fishing, even when it's hot. I'm over there in the morning, butt crack early. If I'm not fishing, I'm looking.
Yeah. Oh
Just
yeah. Yeah.
prowling around.
Every single
I'm talking to. I'm
every
talking to
time I
my
drive
regular.
over the river, I'm
You
I'm slowing down, looking at it. I'm getting honked at by traffic because I'm stopping to just look at the river because I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed.
Now, since it's been these 100-degree days, these 98-degree days, I haven't been fishing as much. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Uh, my dad's having some health issues and stuff this last couple months, and it's put a hamper on the fishing because I've been helping him out with that stuff. Uh, but uh, we're still fishing as much as we can.
Yeah.
Fishing's in my blood, and it always has been.
My
Can't
next
stop, won't
question
stop.
is: do you have any fishing superstitions, as in things that you think bring you good luck or things that you think bring you bad luck?
If I forget something, it's bad luck. If I got to go back and get it.
Yeah. Oh wow. So I'm under the impression, and this has been an answer by a lot of guys now, it's the opposite. Like, so me, and this, I was surprised to learn because it's always been a weird superstition of mine. And I was surprised there's been a lot of people in these interviews that have the same superstition. So if I remember everything, I feel like I'm going to get skunked. But if I forget like the net, or I forget like
Yeah.
the scale or the tape measure or whatever, then I'm going to catch the monster because I'm not ready for it. You know what I mean? I swear by it,
Okay.
man.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For me, that's because I've been asked that before. So if I'm like, the exception of the rule, if I'm just pulling out wherever, if I'm a block away, whatever. I mean, when I get to the water, I'm like, blah blah blah. We forgot that.
Yeah.
Damn it. You know what I mean? Something that's essential, like bait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do if you don't have any bait and you're not prepared to?
You're
You didn't bring
digging.
nothing to catch bait.
You're
You know what I'm
turning
saying?
over
You're going to
logs and rocks and
right. You
you
know what I
know.
mean? No one notices. Or you're out going night fishing. You show up to the spot. Everybody's there. Because like I said, I used to fish with a lot of people. Okay, everybody, let's get our lanterns going. Oh, I thought you were bringing the lanterns. Oh, I thought before lights and stuff. Now, you know what
Right.
I mean? I thought you were bringing it. Nobody got no mantles. Ah, damn it. You know what I mean? Just like I guess we're not fishing tonight. You know what I'm saying? So when you forget something, you got to go all the way back after you got all the way there. That's when I'm like, I don't think this is gonna be this. That's my superstition. That's when I start going. I don't know about tonight, guys. I don't know. I'll
Do
still
you think
fish,
it's
but
like
my
kind of that
hopes won't come.
spiraling mentality of like, okay, I forgot shit. I'm irritated that I forgot shit. Now I'm in a bad mood. I'm not going to focus on fishing good anyway because I'm in a shitty mood because I forgot shit.
Right. And me, I'm like the guy that I'm like, fuck you guys. I'll go back and get it. You guys are sitting here bitching. We're wasting time, you know. And I'm just like,
Right.
fuck it. I'll go back. I'll go get it. You know what I mean? Even though someone might be closer and have the same crap, they don't want to go. Well, we're over here. Well, someone's got to go, guys.
We're here, but we can't.
What's the guy that forgot the stuff? What's the guy that forgot the stuff be the guy that has to go back? You know what I'm saying? And get the stuff, you know.
Well, thank you,
But
Source.
I'm always like tired of hearing it, so I'm usually the guy that volunteers. Screw it, I'll go. I know where the stuff is at his house. I'm out of here.
Right on.
Ooh.
So your good luck is being fully prepared. I don't know if that counts as luck.
Not really, not necessarily fully prepared, just not forgetting something that's needed.
Okay.
Not forgetting something that's needed. You know, I'm never fully prepared. I'm
Right.
never fully prepared. You know what I mean? I'm always never fully prepared. Okay. I'm ready, but doesn't mean I'm prepared. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I was born ready.
Like I'm ready.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm ready. But it doesn't mean I'm prepared. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, let's see here. Do you have a dream fish on your list that you've never caught that you really want to catch someday?
Great white shark, man. Great white shark.
White shark.
Great white shark.
That's crazy.
Where I
man.
live, where I used to live, they outlawed it.
No.
When I was about 15, they outlawed it. You couldn't catch them no more. They got in California, and it just broke my heart. I was like, "What the hell?" I think you're not allowed to catch them anywhere.
So
Unless it's like
unofficially-
scientific research, but I'm not a biologist, a marine biologist, so I don't see myself being in the chance to get them. Now you
You know
can
what's
fish for
weird about
thrashers, you can fish for hammerheads and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think you're allowed to actually target and
You know what
catch
I've
them.
always wondered?
You could chum for them, you could throw the big chunks of with a rope and a big giant half tuna, but that's not fighting it. You know what I'm saying? Rod and reel.
Right. Isn't
You know
it
what I mean?
weird though? Like, who owns the ocean? Like, what country makes laws about the ocean? Like, it's ever.
Whatever their sovereign territory is, you know, they outlaw them. I think because they
Never
were getting
wondered,
hunted
you
to
just
the
like,
point, but they
can you like get in a boat and like cruise over to like Japan waters and be like, it's legal here to catch great whites, or
right. Like I don't know the East Coast rules for it, but I know the West Coast rules. You're not allowed to.
right?
You know. And I'm kind of stuck in the middle right now, so it doesn't really help that situation out. Trying to get to that goal. So
So I mean, law or not, officially, unofficially here, you gonna go ahead and get out there and get a great white one of these days?
I'm gonna try to do it to my. If I can get out and I know they're there, I'm gonna go for them anyway. I don't care. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Find me? Fine, whatever.
Fine. I don't know.
They're gonna put me in jail for a couple months. They can put me in jail for a couple months. Fine. It's worth it. To me, it's worth it. Whatever.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
You know what I mean? I'm letting the damn thing go anyway. I just wanted to catch one. It's not like I wanted to mount it, across my driveway or something. You know what I mean?
I mean, would you settle for like a tiger shark, maybe?
It's got to be a great white.
Gotta be the great white. America.
You know what I mean? It's got to be a great white.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, man. I get you.
You know, that's my all-time bucket list number one. The great white
Fair
shark.
enough, man. That's a big number one.
I've seen them. I've surfed with them in the water, seeing their fins and everything. You know, I love them. You know what I'm saying? I've been fascinated with them ever since I was a kid. That's the number one.
You ain't got to explain. From 5 to probably 15, if we're being real here, I drew so many pictures of great white sharks. I mean, I was just doodling great white sharks in my notebook, when I
Exactly.
should have been paying to the teacher talking about, I don't know what those teachers were talking about because I was drawing great white sharks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Anyway,
Always. What shark? What other shark besides like a hammerhead and a great white are you going to drown? There's going to be one of the two. You
right.
know.
I feel it, man. Feel it.
Now, if I get a
Oh,
chance to actually go out and like catch one, I'm going. I'm dropping everything and I'm gone. Gone. I don't
you'll
care
be
if I
done,
got
man.
to quit my job. I'm gone. I can get another job. I can get
There's
another
plenty of
job.
nothing.
That ain't the problem. You know? The problem is trying to catch a great white.
Gotta catch a great white.
That's the problem.
This is what's important. All right. Feeling it. If you could fish with anyone, anywhere in time or history, so you got a time machine, you can go back forward in time, you can go to different planets if you want, different species, whatever. Anyone. And I mean like celebrities, whatever. Anywhere in the world. Who are you fishing with and where are you going?
Man, I got to think about that. You got to make me turn the wheels a little bit.
Take your
Um,
time. I'll light a cigarette. We got time.
um, could it be a fictional character?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You ever read that book, Old Man in the Sea?
Um by
I couldn't tell you the author.
Ernest Hemingway, the Hemingway book.
It may have been where he was fighting that big marlin or whatever it
And
was,
he
and all
dies
he
at
had was
the
that
end
rope.
fighting fish. Yeah.
By the time he got in, it was just skull and bones because all the sharks and stuff ate it and
Yeah.
everything. I want to go fish with that dude out on a stupid dinghy boat out in the ocean, throw a rope out with some meat. And that old man fought that damn thing for like a week. He brought it in, and he
Yeah.
still brought it in. It only had like some head meat on it, I guess. But
And he died doing it. Yeah.
when I
It's a
read
great
that book,
story.
when I read it, I was fascinated. I was like, if I could fish with that dude. Now that dude might take on many forms. Maybe it was my grandfather's that out there, my great grandfather or something
Right.
like that. I don't know. But I've tagged along with a lot of old people and I've learned a lot. And I think that dude would tell me something. Because everyone said, no, you ain't catching nothing, man. They
Right.
were laughing at him. He
Right.
was going out there. He's like, screw you, I'll be back with a beast. Dude comes in, with the giant skeleton. He's like, I told you. It might not be all there, but we got the bones. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, no, he didn't. I mean, he didn't even come back. He was so committed to the cause. He
yeah,
died fighting that fish in that boat. He
right.
got it in, and then he laid
Exactly.
down and died. He was like, I did
Yeah.
it. Did it.
Exhausted. Just, yeah.
You know?
Done deal.
That,
But he got
yeah.
to go. Right? He got to go. Yeah. So I don't know. That's what comes to mind. I'm
No, I
sure.
like it, man. That's a unique
I,
answer. We haven't gotten anything like that yet. I like it. I like it a lot.
and it's something that anytime I think about great stories, I think of that book. And I read
Yeah.
it when I was real young. I couldn't tell you what age, but it was very young. And it's just always stuff like that always just seems to keep me motivated too, even that long ago. So,
All right. We are at the point where we're going to release the questions to the chat. So we are now
oh,
taking questions from chat. Moderately appropriate questions only. Please don't get too weird, chat. I mean, I know you've been real busy, but were you able to save us any questions?
I don't know. I don't know. We cover a lot. Um, I mean,
Yeah,
can
I
you
know.
really explain? Can
Before
you
the
explain?
interview, I was like, I read you the questions quick, and you're like, oh, you're going to need more questions. You can ask me more stuff. I was like, trust me. I've done this interview a few times. As long as you go into it, it lasts pretty good. We got about it.
Well, I
We're
don't
at
know.
59
I mean,
minutes.
I don't even think we scratched the surface, man. I mean,
You
I
know?
fished the East Coast, the West Coast, North and South in the United States. There's only very few major rivers I haven't fished. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I've covered probably more territory than most. I used to travel. I traveled on the rails Amtrak for like 12 years, 13 years, going around fishing uh,
Keston
and
Card would
traveling in
like to know what
TNT.
part of Cali you lived in.
San Francisco Bay Area. San Francisco Bay Area. That's where I
There you
grew
go.
up. Like I said, I was born out of Chicago. I was gonna say Shot Town. That's what we say, Shot Town. Chicago. Uh, but we moved when I was 6. So, so I consider California my home. You know, the Bay Area is my home. I mean, I just recently been here in Kentucky. I've been out here, I think, coming up on 2.5 years.
PA
I've lived all
Sportsman.
over. Yeah.
PA Sportsman wants to know: did you catch most of the gar on rattle traps? I can't keep the bastards on the hook.
Brattle trap. I don't think there's nothing I haven't caught them on. To be honest with you, whether it's
Gar?
a guard lure, yeah, whether it's guard lures, bait, circle hooks, J hooks, rail traps, freaking
All right.
sabiki snagging them, you name it, jigs.
I'm gonna need you to break this down for me because the gar is like my arch nemesis. I've never caught a gar, and I'm constantly blaming fish that I can't hook on gar because I don't really know. How do
Okay.
we catch a gar? We allegedly have them in Wisconsin. I've never seen anyone catch one. I've only heard
It's
people say it, and they never show me pictures. But
I try to tell a lot of people don't pull up. You know how like your normal reaction, you hook a fish, wham, right?
mhm.
Pull down. It goes against the grain. Pull down. You know what I mean? And when I mean pull down and kind of to the side, kind of behind twist. Because their
Okay.
top jaw is boned. Their top jaw is boned. I got a
And
skeleton in here, I think.
can I do
What is
that
it?
with circle hooks? So I'm primarily like my biggest thing is catfish too. So I use pretty
Yeah.
much exclusively circle hooks.
But you
Um,
want to try to get the lower jaw because that's where all the meat and flesh is. The top's boned. So you're gonna have a difficult time breaking through that. Now I busted through them jaws plenty of times. Not to say that it
no,
can't
that makes
happen.
tons of sense though.
Their jaws are 4 pieces. Okay, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 4, 8 pieces. Right? It's not just 2 plates. It's two for each corner of them. Right? Each like think of it like a rectangle, like a box rectangle.
Yeah.
Each corner 2 pieces to their jaw. Right? Um. Uh.
You
So,
want to
but their
get
top
down
part,
into
the
the
top
back
part's all
bottom
cartilage.
chunk.
Yeah. So you're trying to turn that hook down. Okay. You're trying to hook down. I've had it to where they got the hook to the back of their mouth and just got stuck. They couldn't
Hmm.
open wide enough, and it just literally stuck in there, and
Okay.
like that. And I brought them in like not hooked, like per se pierced, but the hook stuck because their jaws couldn't open wide enough. I've had them wrap up in the lines through their jaw, like they'll have the bait in their mouth, but not hooked, but the line will wrap around their snout because they'll start spinning like an alligator spins in the water. They're death
Right.
roll, so that
Right.
line will twist around. But you want to increase your chances of landing it by using leaders. If you're just
Okay.
using like 15, 20 pound test, more than like I won't say it happens every time, but more than likely their teeth will cut that. So I like to use 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 pound leaders depending on how big these gars are around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Uh, and if you're fishing for like big alligator guards, it kind of helps to use steel leaders because they can break. I
Right.
made my buddy in Texas, my buddy Luke. I've made him 100, 150 pound leaders, and he's all telling they just snap right through it. So I get the hook sets in them, but as soon as I get a few feet tugging in them, he's all boom. It just cuts the line. I'm like, really? I said, all right, well, we need steel leaders. you know.
So Fun
Uh,
Mix Time wants to know what's worse: a big fish and it breaks off in a snag, or a big fish and it breaks off at the bank.
Bakes off at the bank. At the bank.
Really?
Because if you don't see it, it's not so bad. But if you can see it and it breaks off, you're like, damn it! you know what I'm saying? Just like, damn it!
Oh,
Did you see that thing? Too?
bro,
You know
this
what I mean?
spring, 3 muskie. I got 3 muskie to the bank and lost them. Got them to where I
Right,
saw that they were definitely muskie. I
right.
don't have a muskie yet this year. Oh man, heartbreakers,
Yeah.
heartbreakers, man.
Because if you never see it, then you're not. It could have been anything. You know what I mean? Could have been anything, right? But if
Right.
you see it, especially when you know, you're like, oh, we got it, you know, and you're like, we got them, you know, and then boop, it comes off. You're just like, it's more of a heartbreaker than if you never saw it.
And
You
then
know what I mean?
Peter
To
Snyder wants
me,
to know if you've ever done charter boat fishing.
oh, I've done a lot of charter boat fishing, especially in California, out in the ocean, going for king salmon, going for when it's El Nino years, going for Humboldt squids that come up, you know, and you're fishing like 1,000 foot of water. You know what I mean? These big giant 10, 20 pound jigs are like this, right? And you're cranking down and stuff, and you're pulling up these, 8 feet squids and stuff. Now, they're tentacles to their tail, 8 feet, not like their bodies. You know what I mean?
We've got a
Uh,
regular here. I don't know if you've ever seen her around in the chats before, but her name is Main Girl, and she wants to know what's the best no fail knot.
oh, for barrel swivels or hooks. For hooks, I'd have to say the snell knot. For barrel swivels and lures, I would go with the Palomar knot. The Palomar knot has 2 points of contact on the eyes, as opposed to like a clinch knot only has one that curls around the eye, and of course the snell knot you're going around the whole shank, so chances are you're not going to lose it. You know what I mean? And the easier the knot, even though snell knot's really not an easy knot, easier the knot, usually the stronger it'll be.
Scenic
And
City
now
Fishing
I'm certified
423.
rigging. I got certified rigging experience, working on skyscrapers and stuff like that. So I can tell you a lot of knots, and I tell you those two knots right there are they're bulletproof. They're
Right.
bulletproof. Okay.
Scenic City Fishing 423, aka the Pitbull, wants to know: do you have a go-to song or track that you listen to before you go fishing?
Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Here, fishy, fishy. um, Actually, I don't. I don't, but I should. But I have all kinds of theme music anytime I walk into a room. It just naturally occurs. But
I highly suggest you check
no.
out the My Fishing Music playlist. Those songs will get you fired up, man.
Okay, yeah. 'Cause, I mean, there's so much. It's hard because I'm in music. I mean, I'm like everybody else. I like all types of music. All kinds of types. So it's hard to. I've never had like a specific one song, one song. But usually it's like the stuff I grew up with though gets me pumped up a little bit more than like today's music, I guess.
Fair enough. Yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
like it all myself, and I work a lot of different genres into my music. So
Right, right. But I don't know.
if you're just
Sometimes I don't
joining
like
us,
this. Yeah, sometimes I don't like even listening to the radio before I'm going to the water. I won't even have the music on at the same time. You know what I mean? Because I'm just thinking in my head.
yeah, I like to listen to the water once I'm there for sure.
You know. Uh, Now, but I do love listening to music when I'm fishing. That's the only thing I do hate about YouTube is you can't play no damn tunes when you're
Right.
fishing. You know what I mean? Because usually I got some kind of speakers thing with me or some earbuds. You know what I mean? I mean, of course, I could wear the earbuds and stuff, but then I wouldn't be able to see the live. And well, I guess you can't hear nothing on live. It's just you. But you know what I mean? I just thought of that now. I was like, wait, maybe you can use earbuds while you're fishing. But then I'm like, wait, can I do that? I need another device to stream it. But usually, I can bring a little Beats, like some kind of JBL speaker, something that stays charged forever. You know what I mean? Doesn't But that's why I would say that's one of the I think the downfalls with YouTube. You can't listen to and you can't have any kind of music, even if someone's around playing some music. They want to flag it, or flag that section of the video or something like that. Which is strange because usually I just pull all my music off YouTube anyway. So it's like they're hating on their own music streams, But how do they know it's not coming from them when you're live? That's the $1 million question, right? So.
Right.
Uh, I mean, I've seen people like have the YouTube playing while they're live, and still get zapped for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've had cars that just drove by and you heard a song, barely heard a song for like a second or two, and it got flagged. And I was like, "What? Okay, sure."
Yeah, if it's definitely got words in it, you're getting flagged. You know what I mean? If it's just beats, you can get away with it more. But if there's any lyrics, anybody singing, flowing, or whatever, generally you're gonna get flagged pretty quick. You can get away with some beats, just the chorus and stuff. Certain choruses, Uh, I think it's a 30-second rule. I think they say 30 seconds. More than that, then you got possibility of getting flagged. Uh, I can't confirm or deny it, but I've heard that from a few different people.
I did actually come up with a very specific question for you, and it just popped in my head from when we were talking before we were live. Um, Now I'm sure there's plenty of people who've had bigger ones, but as far as our community, from what I can tell, you've had some of the biggest shorts. I think I've seen your shorts go get like 100,000+ views a couple different times, right? So
You
what
better
would
get
you
up to
say?
like 500,000.
500,000. Wow.
Yeah, I think
What would
well
you
for
say
like
was the
490. You know what I mean?
right? What would you say was the key to success on those particular shorts? What made them kind of the outlier? I'm not that I mean all your shorts do pretty well. Most of them do well. But what made those shorts do so well, do you think?
I don't know because personally I thought those ones sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
mean
thought they
I mean not
sucked.
that your shorts suck, but I can
You
relate.
know?
Like my very best performing shorts were like my shorts that I hated so much I was gonna delete them
Right.
because like, this is dumb as hell. But they
Yeah,
got,
you just
you
got.
know,
It's like I said. It's all a crapshoot. As I said earlier, either you get 7, you get 11, or you crap. You know what I mean? When it comes to putting shorts out, you know what I mean. And what's good, and even that's not good. Okay, 490,000. That's probably my best one. That's not nothing. That's nothing YouTube has to offer. There's shorts
bro.
out there with hundreds of millions of views.
I drove myself crazy one week because I watched, and
You know what I'm saying?
I know the gurus and the experts are all full of crap. I know, but I watched them anyway, right? And I watched
Yeah.
this series of these people that claim, and well, actually, no, you could see that they've got tons and tons of shorts that get millions and millions of views every time they post them, right? And so like they explained their recipe and how they did it and da da da. And I followed it to a T, and I made a short just like their shorts, but in the fishing niche, right?
Right.
Same as all my other shorts. It didn't perform. It
Right.
actually performed a little worse. I was like, I spent a week fucking trying to learn your system.
Like, unsubscribe to that channel, you lying bastards. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, it's a crapshoot. Consistency helps, but consistency's it can it'll drive you crazy when it comes to the shorts game because you got to watch your stuff so well. When you see it flatline, you're not getting so many views an hour on that short. Just cut it
It's
off.
yeah,
Post on top of it. If that doesn't take off, boom, post another one. And once you hit that 3-4 limit, they're not going to play nothing anyway, so you might as well wait. You got to wait it out 24 hours.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Now, if you don't care, it's like a lot of times I don't care. I'm just going to put out some epic ass short for all the homies. You know what I
right.
mean? Check this out, y'all. You know what I mean? I know they're not going to go nowhere, but as long as my crew and my inner core gets to see them, that's all that matters. You know what I mean?
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
no, and I
like
mean,
you can tell if I'm fishing for views or not because you won't see me using when I'm throwing stuff that's not trendy. Everything else is for the homies, for my fam, for all my core. You know what I'm saying? All of us. All the trendy shit. That's just get more notoriety
yeah,
outside of the group, But when I'm using like beats or OG songs or some soul music, you know what I'm saying? I like a lot of 70s and 60s music and stuff. The golden soul and soul train shit and rap music that I grew up with and shit.
right.
That's all for us.
Yeah,
If I use like some love song or something like that, that's for all of us. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know this. I never said this to nobody, really, except for a few people. That's for us. If I'm using the Trinity sounds, that's just because I'm tired. No, okay, let's boost the views. Fuck it, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Sometimes I'll go on that one. You know what I mean? Otherwise, like, if I'm just using that stuff that no one's ever heard or might not have heard, but like this has no business being on a fishing track. That's for all of us. You know what I'm saying? That's just keeping it crew. You know what I mean? You know what I
So
mean?
Anthony says, "What all fishing places do you like to fish at? And if you could only pick one that is lucky." So I guess
Man,
if you could just pick one place to fish, where would that be?
I
Of
would
your
say
fishing spots.
I'd have to go to the Delta. I'd have to go to the Delta in the San Francisco Bay. The Delta. It's where freshwater rivers, the Sacramento River, basically, a whole the the aqueduct, and the saltwater all kind of combine. And where that
Yeah,
it's
I've
like
seen
a
you
brackish
fish.
water, where
Oh,
that meets, and it goes for miles. It's probably the biggest delta I think in next to Louisiana. I think it is. Uh, it may be bigger if I'm not mistaken, because this thing is incredible. It's
there does
incredibly big.
appear to be like a very specific dam, like a dam wall that I've seen you fish a lot. But to be fair, I mean, you've been on here for a couple of years now, and I've only been watching you for, I don't know, 4 or 5 months now, something like that. But
Okay.
yeah, I've seen you fish this one specific dam spot a lot. Is that the spot you're talking about right now, or no?
No, that's in California. The spot I'm talking about's in
Oh, okay.
California.
All right, gotcha,
You know,
gotcha.
if I had to choose where you guys always see me at, it'd be my local dam. That's about 5 minutes from me.
Okay, that makes
I call it
sense.
my backyard. That's the one where you see me. All most of my stuff comes from there. You know what I mean? But I fish, like I said, I do a lot of fishing not live. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, and a lot of times I won't make shorts either because I just don't want those spots getting out there. Okay. I don't want the commercial fishing people catching on. The
Yeah.
commercial fishing business here is insane. I'm talking nets, I'm talking trout lines, and I'm talking hoop nets. They'll come out there with nets, set nets, and then you think it's the ocean and run them into a circle and scoop everything up and bring them in. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen that in freshwater. You know, unless it was the Great Lakes kind of crap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. They're doing it out here in the rivers. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
our DNR has done it a few times, but I mean they let the fish go immediately, but they're actually just checking populations and stuff. But they'll
Yeah.
they'll literally run nets from one side of the river to the other and go up and down it dam to dam and get kind of a head count. Um,
Exactly.
it's part of
I've seen
fishing.
fishing games do that. Yeah, and they'll shock them though. They'll shock
Yeah,
them and bring them and do
that's hard to do
counts.
in a river though, but it can be done.
I'm telling
Ancient
you,
Art
they
of
do
Fishing
that. They do.
says, "Have you ever caught a bull shark in the Mississippi River?"
No, but that is, I want to do that. My boy M Hood fishing
I
down
want to
in
do that
Belchase
too.
be doing it, and I want to do that. I don't mean to point at you. But I definitely want to. Catching any shark in the river, I think, is probably another bucket list thing.
So I can answer the
So
first part of this question because he answered this at the beginning, Anthony. He started fishing at 4 years old. And then
yeah,
so the next part you can answer. Can you give any fishing ideas for beginners?
ideas. Uh, Jeez, uh, you're gonna get more failure than success when you're beginning, but that's just the learning process. My advice is it's part of it. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. You know what I'm saying? You got to
And then
practice before you get better.
Peter
You know what I'm
Snyder
saying?
says, "Have you ever caught a hammerhead shark?"
I have never caught a hammerhead. I've never caught, the only sharks I've ever caught was seven gill sharks, leopard sharks, and sand sharks. That's it. That's it. So we just the I never caught a bonnet head, never caught a lemon shark. I always grew up on the West Coast. You know what I mean? So it was West Coast fish. You know what I mean? As far as the saltwater. Like when I was in North Carolina, I almost got a big ass sand shark over there, but I didn't land it, so I don't count it. Okay, he broke off as he was getting right into the shore, but I saw him. He was a nice one too. Uh, but I don't count that one because I didn't get him out of the water. I only count catches if I get him out of the water. You know what I mean? If I don't get him out of the water, I don't count it.
Right. I don't either. I don't either.
You know?
If it's not in my hands, I didn't catch it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. I mean,
Like
even if
even
I
if I pull it
even
out
if
of
I
the bank
if
and it
it,
flops back into the water, that's not a catch.
Right.
Yeah, you can
You know what
secure
I'm
it.
saying? So,
You know what I mean?
everyone has their oh well, if you touch it, it counts. If you saw it, it counts. Personally, me, if I got them, if I can unhook them and feel them, I caught them. You know what I mean?
Billy wants to know, did you ever catch a piranha?
No, but I had piranha in a fish tank once. And that's about as close as I ever caught one. And I tell you what, those suckers, they're actually pretty cool fish to have in a fish tank. They're not as crazy as you would think. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. When it's time to eat and feed them, it gets wild. Okay, don't get me wrong. Especially if you throw a big piece of something in there. Okay, because I had like 5 piranhas and stuff. Um, on this one tank. But otherwise, they're really docile. They're not tripping. They're really cool. They get really big, really fast. I mean, they'll outgrow your tank quick. Okay. I used to sell them back to the store. So I used to buy them from.
I guess I think
Those pockets
Source
are
is messing with
badass.
us, but we'll ask it because
Pockets,
he's
man,
fun.
those things get freaking giant in a tank, dude. Quick. I just seen JR Buzz. I really wasn't paying attention to chat, but I just seen the Paku. Dude,
Oh
those
yeah.
Pacus are. Dude, their jaws on a. I've seen some Pacus eat some things. I was like, dude, this thing is like solid. How the fuck did they eat those?
Source would like to know, have you ever caught a screwhead? I don't know what that is.
I've never heard it either, but I've had a screwdriver drink a couple times.
Old juice and
More than
vodka.
a couple.
Heck yeah. Source is not a fisherman, but he's trying. By God, he's trying.
Hey, you know what? I wouldn't doubt if there's something out there called some kind of
There
fish
probably
called
is.
screwhead. You know what I'm saying?
Peter would like
No,
to know if you've ever caught a swordfish.
no, but that's on the list too. Swordfish is definitely on the
No.
list. You know, a lot of
Now that
saltwater
case,
fish are on the list. You know what I'm saying?
I will tell
Tuna,
you, even if you don't like the taste of fish, if you like steak, you might like swordfish because it tastes like a beef steak, man. If it's
that's what I
prepared.
hear. That's what I hear. But I've heard people say that halibut tastes like like closest to like meat, like beef too, even. You know what I mean?
Right.
Uh, which every time I try it, I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? It's just nothing like it. Like not even remotely close. Like,
Right.
how do you come up with this? You know what I mean? But I'm always see. But this is another thing, fishy. I'm always willing to try a couple
Right.
bites.
Right.
Okay. I'm not like like shun my nose at anybody. If someone
When it
takes their
comes to
time to make
broccoli,
a meal,
I'm not gonna try. I'll just say,
yeah.
gonna
Well,
get
if
me
it
to eat
smells, but if it smells like I can't get near it and stuff, because some fish stinks, okay, more than others, all right.
Yeah.
Just smell alone, I can't mess with it. But that goes with any kind of food, okay. But fish, particularly, if it don't smell right, I'm not. I can't. No, I can't do it because I'll just. Bleh, I'm just.
Billy would like to know, what is your biggest achievement while fishing?
I won $150 for biggest fish, the king salmon charter run. I was about 13 or 14. I was just after that photo. Just after this photo. Okay. It was like maybe a year after that, right? Um, I won like $150. We're out in the Pacific Ocean. I think we were 32 miles out. It took like 5 or 6 hours just to get out there. And I caught a 38-pound king salmon. And I won $150. And then I won $100 for the first fish and biggest fish. And I wound up catching the second biggest fish, but there was no pot for that. It was like 30 pounds. And for some reason, my dad, because it was all my dad's coworkers. It was like my dad's, the company my dad had worked for, the boss, the owner, paid for this huge trip, right? And he did it every year, And I fished on this boat for almost like 30 years. Yeah, and that was the first time I ever been in the ocean on a boat, like that far out. Anyway, not like a stupid tour boat, you know what I mean, going to Alcatraz or nothing like that, like actual fishing. And my grandma's got the pictures of this, and I remember my dad. So I got to send these to grandma, but I never got them back. Like that's this giant salmon, dude. I mean, salmon's like this, right? And that was probably my coolest moment because my dad was so proud of me. I'm just never forget him talking shit to everybody. You guys ain't shit. You see what he did? You know what I mean? They're all drinking and getting drunk and shit. You know what I mean? But the way he was talking about it just had me so. I don't know why, but I just felt so damn proud. That
Yeah.
was probably my favorite moment. You know what I mean? Now I've had a very rare. My dad shows any emotion even to this day about anything. Doesn't even matter what it is. It's like probably the first time I ever seen him just have emotion for more than like a minute, 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
I don't know why that sticks in my head, but that's what comes to mind.
Oh, it matters, man. You want your dad to be proud of you. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong
I
with
tell
that
you,
at
there's a
all.
lot of days where they weren't. So we
Yeah.
caught one when we were really young. Hey, we only need one. We don't need every other moment, but one will work.
I'll take that one. I'll take that one. So, fishing with flames wants to know: do you ever go ocean and catch them big grouper fish? And I think he had followed up with like the Goliath grouper, but
Man, I want to, but I haven't really fished much. I fished more the East Coast from North Carolina up, as opposed to North Carolina south. I fished a little bit of the Gulf around Texas, but I've never. It was always off the shore. It was never out where those big giant groupers and stuff are and stuff. I've never. I never have, but that's something from even when I was a kid. I've always wanted to catch those. You know what I mean?
now this question feels a little stalkerish, but I'm going to go ahead and read it anyway. Main girl says, "Would you ever come up to Maine and fish with me?"
With Main Girl, well, that same Main Girl that's up there, I probably would.
Could be. I don't know if they're the same one. You got to be careful on the internet these days.
There's a lot of pretenders out there.
Yeah.
I probably would though. I definitely, I definitely, I would say I would more or less say I am really. You
All right, we got that cleared up.
know.
Oh, that's all settled.
I got your sticker too, Fishy Things. If you didn't
Did you
see
get
it,
my sticker?
I don't know if you can see it.
Is
It's
that
right.
the one you stole from Cindy and she's been crying that she wants new stickers? I sent her more. Did you get your
Yeah,
stickers yet, Cindy? Are you still here?
you know. And when I started this board, all I had was a Skipjack Cindy and a no BS little tiny sticker. That's all I had 2 years ago.
There you go. You got
I'll
him. To,
never,
oh,
I'll
look at that. Cindy's my #1 fan today. Oh,
never,
that's
I'll
so
never forget.
touching.
Cindy was like, "If you want to be part of this stuff, you need a sticker board." I was like, "I do." She was like, "Yes." I was like, "Fine." And it's grown into hella stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's stuff everywhere. You know. I mean, there's
Right
a lot of
on.
stuff I don't even have up here. You know, it's all
No,
over
I'm
here.
jealous. That's a good sticker collection. I'm not. I'm about a. I got maybe a quarter of that. And I'm putting all my stickers on my boat. So
I
you
mean,
guys
Barbie and
better be
Orphan.
investing in quality
I got a
stickers, or
hand-drawn
the weather's
picture.
going to take
You
them
know
out.
what I mean? I mean, this is so cool. The stuff that people send me and that I send out as well. I'm kind of lagging right now. I got a bunch of stuff to send, but it's getting echo. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
All right, everybody. Thanks for having me up there. We'll see you.